Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni, brought to you by the Intertalk Radio Network. You're into all things music. Guys, it's series number 8, show number 8 in a series of ongoing talent on a new series called Emerging Mondays here on Jackie's Groove. And I got to tell you guys, I want to sound a special prayer on a sad day, but we're going to turn this sad, the smile and up, so, we're going to make it happy. But to those who lost their lives and family members who lost their lives in September the 11th. And I can't believe it's been all these years later. So throwing a positive vibe out those, putting something great into the universe. And what we're going to put in the universe today is this girl that you just heard at the top of the set. I had the privilege of meeting this girl about 3.5 years ago at a local venue here in the Inland Empire. And got a chance to listen to her. I didn't even know it was her voices coming through this live speaker. And I became an instant fan. We exchanged each other's numbers. She gave me her CD. And as they say, the rest is history. So with that said, guys, I want to welcome, with open arms and open ears, number 8 in a series of amazing talent to Jackie's Groove. Please welcome Joanna Pearl. Joanna, hi, sweetheart. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I had no idea it was number 8. That's my favorite number.
Yeah, man, number 8. Number 8. So we're just, we're excited. And as I said, I wasn't too happy about doing this at the beginning. Not that it was above and beyond anything. It was just a situation. My plate was already full. But I got to tell you, I look forward to every Monday. And I'm looking forward to today because you are my friend. You're my sister. Oh. So that's the cool thing. So if I act like I don't know you, to the listening audience out there worldwide, I know this girl. And but you may not. So what we're going to do is we're going to educate you as much as we possibly can. And I'm going to go through a couple questions, something that I normally do. Try not to break up the cookie cutter type of interviews that Joanna's done, all of her musical life. But I do want to find out, and the audience wants to know also. Joanna, talk to us about where you were born and where you grew up.
Okay, well, I was born in Berwyn, Illinois, and we lived there for a few years. Apparently, I love the snow. And then we moved to Lake Elsinore in California, and from there, my grandparents built their business, garage door company, and we moved different places, Paris, Menifee, ended up in Canyon Lake, grew up there, which is just on the back in between Lake Elsinore and Menifee in California, and kind of just, that's where I kind of grew up, and I went to school in Lake Elsinore, and just kind of a Temecula Valley girl, so that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah, and growing up, in Illinois, as I call it, and so on in that area itself, what was coming through? And I ask this question because people really, really like this question, the listeners do, and so does the interviewers. But what was coming through the speakers of your family's home? What were you forced to listen to? What did you enjoy listening to?
Oh, my gosh. I can say that my mom has a very wide variety of music. And then my grandparents, obviously the old school, now we call it oldies, right? But
right, of course.
50s, 60s music, which is great on its own. But my mom loved, Led Zeppelin, all the way to country, Winona and the big voices, Dolly Parton. There was a lot of different music going on in that time. And I remember my mom telling me that the only thing that would keep me quiet or go to sleep was putting a radio underneath my crib. So I think that kind of attributes to my obsession with music. Kind of her fault, I guess.
And it's amazing because I always ask the term of what you were forced to listen to. I mean, growing up in my household, being Armenian Italian, and you would, of course, we had the standards. We had the Tony Bennett's and the Sinatras and so on. But, the weird dichotomy is my mom and dad were heavy into Latin music. I mean, just on a regular basis, we would hear Celia Cruz and Tito Puente and the like. And so that obviously was my road to the world of percussion. And, so it's like, and I wasn't forced to listen to anything because I had the choice of getting out of the room. it's their house, their rules, and I played to it. And there's nothing that they played, maybe other than my mom falling in love with a guy by the name of Bobby Goldsboro. And that was something I just, I didn't really want to dig with at all. But you know what? We are a product of our own, and I'm very, very thankful, just as you are, for being raised in that, in having music around you, be it oldies, be it current day. And I want to talk about today, current day, because the fact is you are on the cutting edge. You have been. You know me, I've been trying to kick your ass for how long, girl, that we've known each other.
Right?
I just, the title right now is escaping me, but I want you guys to go to a small website called YouTube, and I want you to look for this girl by the name of Joanna Pearl, Pearl. She covered a Sarah Bareilles song called Gravity. And that song, to this day, we've had many parties at the house, and of course, God forbid Joanna should ever, put her best foot forward. It's always me, Jackie, pushing her onto everybody else. And we had, I don't think, what was it, JoJo? Was it Easter? We had everybody here, and everybody was crying when they were listening to that song. And I know you were embarrassed. But you know what though? It's so well worth it. And there's so many different styles of music that you come across. You've now delved into a thing called country. There's a song that Dan played for me, one of my favorite songs that you're just not your favorite, but I just think it's commercially right. I don't know if we're going to be playing that today at all. I don't know. But the thing is, it's you've got to run at your own speed. You've got to be comfortable. I know you're heavily involved right now into songwriting. So do me a favor. Tell me and tell the audience worldwide, what inspires Joanna to write your music? Is it through heartbreak? Is it through life experiences? Go ahead and share with us.
So many different things. I mean, I really think that it's whatever makes you feel the most feeling at that time, whether that is, breaking up with someone or, someone passing or something in the world that happens. I mean, even just like the floods, in Florida and Texas that have happened, you want to do so much and you kind of can't, so you just kind of say a prayer and send positive vibes. But those kinds of things, I mean, humanity, it's just whatever touches my heart. It could be, a child looking at Christmas lights, I think we put that in the song, the Christmas song that we did, A Little Bit of Heaven, that we released last year. And just all these little things matter, and it's just being observant around you and living in the moment, so a lot of it comes from just that, being a little kid, going to Disneyland and just getting a balloon and doing stuff that you've never done before. Yeah. So.
Jojo, let me ask you a question, and everybody, I call her Jojo, as I do with all my female friends named Joanna. God forbid they should be a male by the name of Joanna. But Jojo, my question I want to ask you right now, are you happy about what you're putting on paper right now? Are you feeling it right now? Are you in a writer's block right now? Are you motivated? Where are you right now in your career?
We did a songwriters workshop a few weekends ago, and honestly, co-writing is super inspirational to me. I think being around that element, whether that's performing or whatever, it always inspires me. But I think right now we came out with the EP, and we did so well with the EP. You kind of get stuck in that sensation of like, okay, where do we go? And everybody has their opinion of what you should do.
Right.
But you always have to just look inside and figure that out. So taking the time to write and, go experience things and then it comes out on paper. And lately, there's been a lot of stuff that I did a song called 6 a.m. that I'm super happy with, but then it goes back to the genre, right? So do we have someone else sing it, or how do we want to do this? Because I do write for other artists as well, but that one is one that I don't want to give up. So it's it'll definitely be on the next record. But yeah, I think right now it's just a matter of finding not my voice, but what do I want to say next? Right. And that's kind of where it is. So.
Let me jump in and tell the listeners out there, guys, I want you guys to go to iTunes or wherever music is sold right now and look for Joanna's current release. It was put out in 2014. It's called Sensitive Material. I love the album, and that's what opened my eyes to this girl. Not only is she physically a beautiful-looking girl, She's got that voice that goes with it. And as I always said, if the girl was 500 pounds and bald headed, I would listen to the voice anyways because it's just that powerful to me. We haven't had that opportunity to work live on stage because timing and so on. But I've been wanting to lend my color to your voice. And with all the talent out here where we live, and it's in the Temecula area out here in the wine country, there's so many great players, that we need to get together with and jam, but jam in the studio to make it all worthwhile, make it all worth sense. Let me ask you this question, girl, and something I've just been thinking about as we're talking here. When you listen to the current radio that's out right now, or even just music in general, is there a song in your repertoire or in your brain that you wished it was you singing that song, and not so much a massive hit, but is a song out there right now in the airwaves that you wished your voice was on?
Man, there's some songs that come out that I'm like, gosh, I wish I would have wrote that, or, duet or something like that. But I know, it's a little bit older, but I really dig Demi Lovato. I think she's such an amazing artist currently, and when it came out with Skyscraper, that was like, whoa, that's
right.
I wish I would have wrote that. But also, Leona Lewis, Bleeding Love, that was
amazing.
A good one. Every time it comes on, it's like brand new to me. And when a song does that, it's like, okay, this is a good song. But there's so many amazing artists, and I think it's just because it's so open, and even just indie artists, they come out with there's a girl called Shay around here, and she just like blows out of the water, and you're like, what is that? So some cool stuff out there.
Let me ask you a question, girl. I'm going to ask this question I've been asking you, to Dan, to everybody who knows JoJo. I'm going to ask right now to the millions listening out right now. Don't be nervous. But are you afraid? Are you afraid of the success that your talent offers?
I'm not afraid of it. There's a lot of things in the industry that you have to watch out for, I think. And I've had to deal with some of those things. So I think I tread lightly on some things when I should be a little bit more aggressive on other things. But I feel that there's a certain path, and I'm trying to be true to that, I guess. It's definitely an interesting road,
I can tell you right now, I know right now, if Dan's listening right now, I know he's laughing his ass off right now because he knew I was going to ask a question like this. So, Daniel, not that you paid me for that, but I was going to ask this anyways. Hey, Joe, do me a favor. Talk to me about the fact when you are, let's say, for instance, inspiration comes at all hours of the night. There's no alarm clock on your body. But when something comes into your mind, a harmony, a melody, words, are you prepared, through the advent of, a voice memo on your iPhone or a notepad? What do you do
all
to
the
write
time.
it down so you don't sleep through the night and forget it in the morning? Share with the younger
that
set out there.
If you wait, it's gone. You're like, I'll remember that. And
right.
You never do. So getting a voice memo, it's kind of hard when someone's next to you in bed, but writing it down or going into the studio, that's happened. And hey, what are you doing up so late? It's like, look, I got to get this right now before it leaves. But yeah, that's happened. It's actually happened when I'm dreaming and something when, a song that I make up in my dream and I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, that's really good. I have to, and then you're trying to even recall that. You're like, oh man, you know how it is recalling dreams. So, but,
I do that because I'll say something, I'll dream of something very funny. And I'm cracking my ass up in my dream. And then I wake up and I tell Caprice about the dream. She goes, I don't know, what am I missing? Is it something that was supposed to be funny? And so with that said, when you have this hit song in your dream, when you actually write it for what you can recall, do you question yourself with a furrowed brow like, what the fuck was I thinking on this song?
In the dream, it was amazing. But it actually was a good start to a song. I was very surprised that it actually was happening in my dream. So I was lucky enough to recall that. But it's happened other times, and I'm like, yeah, that's weird. That doesn't really work for anything. Right. So
let's step back for a quick second. Let's talk about Sensitive Material, your current release that's out right now. when you sit back and you've got your headphones on, if you're on a walk or a run, and there's nothing wrong with listening to yourself. I mean, God knows I do it all the time, not because I'm stuck on myself, but because I want to know what I should have done, what I could do. Was I happy? Was I not happy? When you listen to these tracks on this EP, are you happy with your voice, what you're hearing, or are you saying, I can't believe I put this out on vinyl? Share with us.
No, I totally, especially being independent and self-funded, that kind of thing, having a few sponsors, but pretty much self-funded for the album. I was proud that we actually had live musicians on the album. I was very strict about like hiring musicians to come in and play for this and not just completely computerized. I think the only thing computerized was the horns because we couldn't find anybody to do it in time. So that's super important to me. I think vocally, I did push myself. I did everything I wanted to do on each song, so that was really important to me, just creating a feeling overall in the EP, going from song to song. But I was really proud that I put it out. I mean, I have a video on YouTube of me unboxing my CDs, and it was like I couldn't stop crying because it was like, you get to a point you're like, I did this, So I can't really ever go back and say like, yeah, I wish I would have did this different.
Yeah.
I do say like, I wish I can put this in the new album or something, or go in a different direction. But for sure, I'm super proud of it. I mean,
you should be, girl. It's you. That's your calling card. It's one of the biggest square business cards I've seen in a long time, and I've made sure, that when we're out together. In fact, the last famous person that got your CD and is loving it is a gentleman by the name of Michael McDonald, and where you actually presented to him, in his hand, at Pachanga back in April. And I thought that was pretty cool. I was pretty honored to give you that opportunity, to meet an old friend and a friend who's an iconic singer-songwriter. So, and with that said, I'm going to move this into the next segment because we're coming out of this first segment, Joe. I want to talk about the musicians out in the area that we live in. And I want to talk to you about motivation and the people that want to stand behind you. And we'll pick that up on segment number 2, because there's not going to be any excuse why we're not going to be moving forward on this new release at a very, very minimal budget. So with that said, guys, we'll be back on segment number 2. This is Jackie Bertoni. Jackie's Groove, brought to you by the Talk Radio Network with my friend, Virgin Monday artist number 8, Joanna Pearl. Guys, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in a short minute.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
The Moyer Entertainment Group, in conjunction with Daddario, Radio Airplay, and Looploft, is keeping music in our local schools and presenting local talent to the world through the Temecula Valley Music Awards. Submissions for entry into the TVMA 2017 season are now open in all genres, including a youth category for artists under 18 for the October 7th Star-Studded Awards Show, where 100% of the proceeds go towards supporting local music education in the Temecula Valley. Details, tvmawards.org.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on intertalkradio.com.
Todd Zuckerman from the rock band Styx, and you're listening to my pal Jackie Bertoni on Jackie's Groove. Groove on, motherfuckers.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Everybody, welcome back to segment number 2 on Emerging Mondays, series number 8. My artist is Joanna Pearl. That voice you just heard, as my wife says to her all the time, Joanna, you sing from your balls. And that is an ultimate compliment, because when a girl's got that power behind her, it's amazing. I can listen to her all the time. But what I want you guys to do is listen to me real quick. Do yourselves a favor when you can't listen to my show live or the other shows that we have on Intertalk Radio. Go to iTunes or Google Play and download our easy-to-use and easy-to-navigate application. 2 words, Intertalk number 1, radio number 2. Take Jackie's Groove and the rest of our shows with you on the go when you can't listen live. But, hey, we are live right now with this girl by the name of Joanna Pearl. Joanna, welcome back, my love. You know what? I was talking to you on the break, and I just want to make sure you know this, and this is not a paid endorsement for anybody, but we are surrounded by a lot of great fucking players out here in the IE. You know, and I just kind of want to give a little lead in when it comes to the way recordings have gone, because God knows I've got 30 years of this under my belt, and I've seen it all. And of course, you know, I'm a slave to Pro Tools in my studio. You've been here how many times, not only to the studio but to the house, so you know how it operates here, Joe. But the fact of the matter is, I want to share something with you, because my dear friend, the group called Chicago, the iconic band, 50 years on the road, 50 years making hits. I mean, 36 albums, multitude of gold and platinum, but the last album called Now, the horn sections were recorded in various hotels where they were on tour.
Wow.
Okay, now that you know, yeah, and so the fact of the matter is, I mean, our dear friend Paul Kastic, one of the greatest drummers who I had the privilege of interviewing on Monday, even though we're going to redo it because he just landed in Kenya, and it was a horrible connection. So. But we talked about that also because Paul is a man that carries more outboard gear, and a lot of the stuff he does with Maxi Priest, Shaggy, and so on is done out of hotels. And the fact of the matter is that, I mean, that's the pleasure or the curse of being a working musician or being a road dog. But Joe, what I'm going to bring up here is I've talked to these people, and we're talking about Kelly Cowan, probably one of the greatest guitar players in this area. You know, we've got his partner, you know, Ray on drums. We've got a full group. We've got people like Brennan. We've got people like, you know, Mike Garza. We've got an engineer, a gentleman by the name of Salvador Spinelli, and we've got another great drummer by the name of Nick Syward. And Nick has got this most amazing studio in Chino Hill called Soundtown. And Joe, he said to me when I was at his house a couple weeks ago, I really want to get Joe in here because it is an acoustically correct room. You're going to get the same sound out of that you're going to get into any quote-unquote studio. So Nick has put the invitation out to you. And again, this is all going to be put down on a brother and sister situation. Don't worry about the funding. Your worry about is getting gas in the car and driving a half hour to his house. And I'm telling you, then you have a friend named Jackie Bertoni that has a studio here. That it takes me a turn of my chair and a turn on my Pro Tools to add the flavor to that. You've got somebody like Henry Capono from Hawaii who would like to be involved also. So the bottom line is there's no fucking excuse other than the fact that this vault of music that you have ready to be put down, don't let money be the deterrent here because we're all going to put our best foot forward. Now, the only downside is when the album becomes a mega hit, you better fucking remember us, girl. And, you know, and that's the whole idea. It's called paying it forward. And
sure,
that's
yeah.
the way it is. I mean, well, I mean, sweetheart, if you hire me and the song sucks, you couldn't pay me enough to record that song. But if the song is that good, I don't charge a penny because I believe in that. And so with that said, you know, you just put that in the back of your head because, you know, I will constantly pound this through you. But when you are ready, we are ready to support you in that situation. And girl, and I also want to ask you this question because I ask everybody, you're young in the business and so on. So you really haven't experience the music business as it was 10 years ago. But 10 years ago, if we said that, it would have seemed like a millennium behind that. But the music business now is not changing on a yearly basis, not changing on a monthly basis. It's changing on a weekly basis. You know, the millennials out there don't know what it's like to spend money. Everything's a stream. Everything's a download. I want to know right now, if you can put your Back to the Future thinking cap on right now,
Okay.
where do you think you would be right now in the way of owning your music, which you own, publishing, and so on? Do you think you would have had an easier time back then with a team of people on a record label? Or are you optimistic about the ability, because of social media, that you can do this on your own with the right people next to you?
Oh, completely optimistic. I mean, it's all about consistency, really. I think we have a lot more play with what we can do, the direction we can go, the things that we can actually do. I mean, when you're tied to a label, and there's nothing wrong with being with a label, but it is a little bit constricting. I mean, I know a lot of people that have been signed.
A little bit?
And they get shelved, you know, because it's just either the competition or, you know, they don't get along with so-and-so and they don't agree and that kind of thing. I think now, as we want to call millennials and being on the internet and all these other cool avenues, it's just about connecting with people. And it's just like going out and having a gig on a Friday night every week kind of thing. It's kind of the same thing on YouTube. You know, it's the same kind of idea, same kind of marketing strategy. I think it's so much cooler because, I mean, it is that like, hey, we want to do something, let's go do it. And then the turnaround is, 24, 48 hours, and it's out there, not months, you know? So I think that's cool.
Joe, let me ask you this question, and because we spend a lot of time together, the four of us eating what we'd love to do the most. And there's one thing I do. It's one thing I do that cracks Dan up and cracks Cappy up. I always dig into you like you're my little sister. And every time we talk about music of yesteryear, I never look in your eyes. I only look to Dan, I only look to Cappy or anybody else who's our age bracket. I know that pisses you off. And I do that because it pisses you off. But at the same time, too, I've always said to you, Joe, to know where you're going, you have to know where it all started from. So with that said, and a lot of musicians will agree with this. Of course, it's fundamental that most music comes from the jazz genre, and so on. So with that said, are there any great jazz vocalists that I can put you on the spot that you listen to, or would like to listen to, or like to study more to find out exactly where their vibe is into modern music?
Well, I mean, I love, I don't know if it's more soul or jazz, like Etta and that kind of thing. I think there was one girl that was so amazing. I can't remember her name right now, but she was just amazing. The thing I love about jazz is it's so, not only do you get to like kind of, you know, the musicians kind of vibe more off of each other, more than just like this curse and that kind of thing, because you just never know what can come out of that. But the soulfulness of their voices, you know, especially the women that come out of there, it's pretty spectacular. You definitely don't. I mean, I understand why it made such an impact on our, you know, music in general and history and how it's being saved. We just went to Club 33 at Disneyland, and that's kind of the vibe, you know, New Orleans and upstairs. It's like a jazz club kind of thing. So it's really cool. It's back to the basics, really, you know, and that's why I think I like it.
Absolutely.
So, for sure.
You know, I'm going to give you kudos, girl, because, you know, again, there's a lot of great singers. I had a great group on last week called Town, Towne, and Stevie Steves, her vocals. I mean, you talk about a country girl that has taken Nashville by storm, but really are, you know, again, an emerging artist that are doing some great things. I want you to check them out too, Joe, when you go onto YouTube. They've got some amazingly produced videos to their songs that was all done on a shoestring budget. Also, there's lots of ways to get away with that. And I want to ask you this question also too, because it intrigues me. But when you're talking about like Etta James and so on, and I'm going to give you a compliment because I firmly believe that your voice, the powerful of your voice, the intonation that you have, put you in a category. Yeah, I'm going to go out on the limb right now by saying put you in a category of Patti LaBelle. You've got the pipes of Whitney. You've got that soul that when you hit a certain note, that the hair on the back of my neck stands up. And I can do that. That's why I can sit there and I can listen like I did earlier. I listened to Gravity. And I sit there and I look at you and I look at the passion coming out of your voice. And when you hit that note, I to this day, it brings tears to my eyes because there's a certain, my friend of mine, Anastasia Newkirk, she's got that type of voice also that kicks my fucking ass. That just really, really, really motivates me and puts me in the right mode. Now, with that said, and giving you compliments and making your head bigger than it already is there songs out there, or a certain song out there that you pop into your headphones, your earbuds, that really, really motivates you to sing? What song makes the back of the hair on your neck stand up?
Wow. You know, a lot of Whitney stuff. And I know, like, there's certain Mariah songs, but when she's really, like, into it, you know, not just doing it for the whistle notes kind of thing. But I think, you know what I think it is I think that it's like gospel. You know, they all have, like, a gospel background. So it's almost like, you know, people that come from church choirs and stuff like that, they connect to something vocally that comes out in their performance, and it's like unexplainable. And so I think I gravitate towards those things. I mean, even Faith Hill, like, she's phenomenal in her own right. But just like really big, you know, big singers like that. But I know Whitney and Mariah have always been huge for me. Aretha Franklin, obviously. But yeah, just live stuff, acoustic stuff that they've done, not just album versions, but going on YouTube and seeing, like, Whitney's national anthem. You know, I do the anthem a lot, but it's like nobody can top that. Like, that's the top of the top, pretty much. So,
what blows me out of the water, girl, is there's one word or two words that's not in your vocabulary. It's not in your realm. It's called auto-tune. Your voice doesn't need it, and that blows me out of the water because there's so much shit on the radio, and we're not going to get into the shit that you like that I hate. But that's the benefit of opinions, of course. You know, the old and the new. You know, when you step back to the old, were you ever a fan of Carly Simon, Stevie Nicks, and the like? You know, Janice Ian and so on. Did those songs? I'm sure your mama and your daddy and your grandma and grandpa listened to that stuff. Is there songs that you still go back? Because I tell you, and I will agree 100%. I would love to record or hear you record the great Stevie Nicks song, "Landslide." I think you would kill that tune.
I love Nick. There's another one actually that we were thinking about doing for, but yeah.
I mean, it's like, can you sit back? Well, no. I was just listening to a song a couple days ago. It's a great song by a woman by the name of Janice Ian. The song is called 17. Do you remember that tune? I learned the truth at 17. The love was meant for beauty queens. And it was just probably one of the saddest songs, but it's the words out there, you know, back there, what motivated her to write these songs. Was she that girl that nobody picked for volleyball? You know, was she the one that, you know, always, you know, stepped back and, you know, and that motivated her to write and so on. And I want to know, and some of the young listeners out there, even the old listeners, what is it that Joanna Pearl does to keep her voice in check?
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? I did choir and I did all that kind of stuff, show choir, growing up in high school. And I did scales and I did all that. And honestly, I hate it. I hate doing scales. Like, it bothers me so bad. Like, Bumblebee, you know, like, nobody cares, you know. I get it. But I actually love to create, like, before I'm about to perform, create, like, a compilation of songs that I'm putting together actually on my Spotify. Now that I'm an approved artist, I can make playlists like that. But I like to have some songs that I go to that are, you know, not so crazy vocally, up into like Beyonce kind of stuff. And that's how I like to warm up. That's how I like to challenge myself. Like, there'll be a new song that comes out or an older song, whatever it is. like a, Whitney Houston, Greatest Love of All or something, and holding out those notes and recording it. I think recording your vocals and listening to it back, whether that's video or audio, however you want to do it, I think that's the best way to see if you're at the caliber you want to be. It's just you against yourself. That's your only competition. In my mind, that's how it should be. You get to a certain level. But if you can do that or do beyond, then it's like, okay, cool. And having a good producer coaching you too. There's times I'm in the studio where I'm like, I can't hit something, and then you get next to the piano and you go back to music theory kind of thing and trying to hit these notes or something, and then you get it. But having someone else to bounce it off of too, just like, hey, I did this music video, or on YouTube, send it like how I send it to you and stuff. Hey, what did you think about this? Getting people's feedback. It's scary,
right, of course,
but it's something you have to do because in this industry you're going to be constantly judged. So get used to it.
And it's when you say that I want to find out also too. I ask a lot of singers this question. I'm going to ask you the question too. Showtime. You're getting ready to go up, maybe an hour or 2 hours before. What foods do you stay away from for your voice?
Oh, for sure. No salty, no dairy, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Stay away from cold beverages, cold food in general, lukewarm, room temperature waters, that kind of thing. And I think it's funny because, I have a rider, so when I go, places and set up or whatever, it's like, it's not being picky. It's not being bitchy at all. And for a long time I thought, why do people only want this or that in there? But it matters, when you go and you're preparing and there's certain things that you need. And if you're on the road, you don't have access to those things. You want to have those things. But hot tea, obviously, no lemon.
Of course.
Honey's okay. You can put a little bit of honey in there, but lemon dries you out. I think it's trial and error too, per person kind of thing. But definitely dairy gets in the back of the throat, and you can't really get that out of there right away. So.
All right, baby girl, I'm going to interrupt you right now. We're coming out of segment number 2. I can't believe this is going to die this quick.
Yeah.
The next segment, or segment number 3, is going to be all about Joanna Pearl, how to stalk you, how to buy your music, how to find out exactly how they can connect with you. So with that said, we're going to be coming back on segment number 3 of Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni. Her name is Joanna Pearl. The station bringing this to you is Inner Talk Radio Network and All Things Music. I hope you're having a great time, JoJo, like I know I am, and our listeners are also. So with that said, guys, don't go anywhere. Segment 3, just around.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas, and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now, with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording, and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element. Affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on intertalkradio.com.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hi, this is Michael McDonald, and you're listening to my good buddy Jackie Bertoni on Jackie's Groove.
Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
If you don't feel sanctified or feel like you're in a Baptist church somewhere in the in the Midwest, then I don't know what that's about. That is soulful, kids. That is how it's done. And we hope to God, if you're a believer or not, or have faith, that this girl will own the airwaves sometime soon. And we want to be part of it and be proud that we were there from the gate. And so with that said, guys, this is Jackie Bertoni, brought to you by Intertalk Radio Network. You're into all things music and Jackie's Groove. Hey, guys, a little bit quick business, if I may. I want to say hi to all of our sponsors, the people who make it possible to keep the lights on and the equipment rolling. And that starts off with Pitbull Audio. Calvin Lee and the Crazy Crew at Pitbull Audio, where they just want you to play it loud. You can reach them at pitbullaudio.com. Also to our friends at SIR, Studio Instrument Rentals, for all your backline and rehearsal studio needs. You can reach them at sir-usa.com. And now this is my favorites. The people that take care of Jackie, Vater Percussion, VATER, who provide me with my drumsticks for the past 24 years. Sabian Cymbals, SABIAN.com, giving me the splash and crash for the past 25 years. And also all of our dear friends at DW Drums, Drum Workshop, dwdrums.com. And that's Don and Chris Lombardi and also John Good and the people I'm most biased to. The people who have been taking care of my career for the past 28 years, and that is LP Music. LPmusic.com, Derek Zimmerman, Jerry Zacharias, Terry Telepia, all my friends there. Thank you for your belief. So with that said, business is done. Let's get back to the matters at hand. Joanna Pearl, you little freak. You girl that can sing like you have no idea. I can sing. I can listen to you sing the telephone book. I mean, really, honestly, I just really, really enjoy your voice. I enjoy hanging out with you. I enjoy putting you on the spot to make sure people can actually hear that voice, because it only takes one voice to click that switch, to send you over the top. And the fact of the matter is, I want to ask this, again, I always say the term, it takes a village. And Joe's not going to do it all by herself. She's got to surround her people that are apt to doing the right thing, to put their best foot forward and not use her talent to forward their career. It's got to be the other way around. And Joe and I talk about this on a regular basis with the proper management and so on. And that's around the corner, girl. I promise you with that. So with that said, I want to bring on a personal one of my dear friends, and somebody who's got to be more tired than I am, because we spent all last night together with Cappy, myself, his Jules, and Florentino Buenaventura, who is called the CEO of this network. He's been a fan of yours for years, and he's still a fan of yours. And I want to bring him on because he requested to come on and say hi to you. So with that said, Florentino, say hi to Jojo. Jojo, please say hi to Florentino.
Hello, Jojo.
Hi, Florentino.
You had me at Gravity. Gravity. Sorry, folks. That was an inside joke. Actually, I'll make it an outside joke. Joanna did a version of Gravity by Sarah Bareilles, and it just floored me when I heard it. And so ever since then, we've had her on the Radio Band Diego, and she even had a little stint before she got too busy and things were taken off for her career, running a show for us. And we've always appreciated your talent and your sweetheart personality and everything about you. So just wanted to start off by saying that.
Oh, thank you.
You are welcome. You have been having a great show talking with Mr. Bertoni here, and it's just we really have been enjoying this Emerging Mondays, because just seeing that all this talent coming out. And I think we've talked about that before, where everyone says, hey, where's the talent at? Where's the true artist? Right. It's only about the ones that have been established for decades that are worthwhile. And I obviously we definitely agree that these people that have made their mark are a huge influence on us. But we recognize that the generations that are coming, whether they're new artists that have been doing stuff for a while with a new project or establishing themselves, that there is a real, there's real hope. There's a real direction for this next generation. And you are not only one of them, but you are also helping to spearhead that with your songwriting camps and all the things you've done. We got introduced to you also through the folks over at the Midnight Satellites, and of course through the TVMAs. That's when I met you. So awesome stuff. It's awesome stuff you're doing.
Thank you. I try to stay active and all that. It is like I said, I get inspired by all that stuff. So you're an inspiration. Thank you.
Speaking of that, how can people become more inspired by Miss Joanna? Tell us about your YouTubes, your Facebooks. Everybody, I swear, once you hear Gravity, you'll be hooked. Actually, you're probably already hooked now that you listen to all this wonderful new music. But to me, that was kind of always comes back to that. The first time I seen Miss Joanna sing in a video, I was like, wow, this girl's gonna take the industry by storm. So, how can people find out more about you?
Yeah, so I try and make it really simple across my social medias. YouTube is / Joanna Pearl. Instagram is @Joanna Pearl. Twitter @Joanna Pearl. My Facebook page is Joanna Pearl Music. So it's the only one that's slightly different, but most everything is @Joanna Pearl. So hopefully that gets it straight across, yeah?
Well, not everybody, you can politely stalk her in a good way, meaning to support her and make sure you've got her music in your hearts and minds, because it's definitely the kind of music you want to listen to, and she's multi-talented, multi-genre, incredible voice, and she just keeps doing it. So people go out there and
she's hot too, isn't she?
She's a very lovely lady.
She's a hottie, isn't she?
You're a troublemaker, Jackie.
I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I was just looking at pictures of her just now. My bad.
I do like the double taps on my Instagram. So
yes, there
let
you
me
go.
know. Let me see if you're out there and double tap my pictures.
That's it. So go ahead and show her the love, and she's definitely she's beautiful in all ways, spirit, and obviously the physicality. It's all good. So. Well, I'm going to let you guys continue on with this great interview, and we look forward to hearing more from you, Miss Joanna Pearl.
Thank you so much.
It's easy for you to say goodbye. It's easy for you to say goodbye right now, other than you wore my ass out last night, keeping us in San Diego for all those hours.
That did not sound right, man. I wore your ass out. Did not sound.
Let me try that again.
We're brothers. We
stayed out late last.
Those kind of brothers.
Yeah, Kenny G and George Benson wore our asses out. Go ahead, figure that one.
Okay.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later on.
Sounds good.
Okay, JoJo, welcome back, girl. So with that said,
thank you,
and all those double entendres itself, man. Guys, again, wherever music is sold, please hunt this girl down. And I mean that in a positive way, because you will not be disappointed. Joe, let me ask you this question, girl, and I've asked this with everybody. It's actually a question brought up by Cappy, and the listeners, all the who's who people, love this question. I'm going to ask this question to you now. If Joanna Pearl was not playing music, singing music, or involved with music in any way, JoJo, what would you be doing?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I do have my human resources certificate, so I might be a human resource manager. But I do enjoy working with animals, like dogs, training them, that kind of thing. Or maybe something like solving investigations or something like that. Something cool, like figuring it out, But I don't know. Yeah. I could not do music. Like, I don't see that in my future at all. So,
perfect answer, man. I mean, it's an answer that's shared across the board. And Cedric, I think I'm hearing you in the background, brother. Mute that button, or you're fired. And so, with that said, guys, I want to come back on and ask you this question, Joe. I know the answer because I saw your YouTube video, but I'm going to ask this to you also. When, where, what were you thinking when you heard yourself on the radio for the very first time?
Well, yeah, there's a video. There's a video of it. Actually, I was lucky enough right before my album dropped, that 94.5 here locally played sensitive material, and they did tell me up front when it was going to play in the hour. So it's an incredible feeling. It's I guess it's like a full circle thing, you know. You work on a song, it comes, you know, in a creative light. You work on it, you question it, you have a relationship with the song, and then you say, yeah, I'm going to put that on my album. It becomes the album title of the song. You're owning it the whole way, and you're hoping that other people accept it as well. It's like bringing a child, I guess, into the universe, and then somebody says, yeah, this is great, and we're going to put it on the air, and you're like, wait, what? That's like the ultimate, you know?
Right.
It was really cool, yeah, for sure.
You know, I'm going to put this out there, and I know Florentino's going to bite his bottom lip because I know I usually piss him off, and I know what gets to him. But we were at a show last night, again, George Benson and Kenny G. Now, I've known Kenny. I used to play with Kenny back in 1982, well before JoJo came onto this earth. Now, Kenny and I can chop it up, regardless of you know what your opinion on Kenny is. He is the most successful saxophonist, you know, in the history of music. Meaning successful, meaning album sales and notoriety. And the fact of the matter is, you know, he's still the same humble cat that he's been before he had anything. And then also someone that JoJo met, Michael McDonald. Joe said afterwards, I can't believe what a humble man this is. And he is. And the fact of the matter is, I tell everybody, because let me tell you something. I had my asshole ways growing up. I was young. I was working with Tower of Power. I thought my shit didn't stink, but I got educated, and that changed dramatically. And so with that said, Joe, I mean, you're going to be put into a situation where your life is, quote unquote, about to change. There's one thing I always say to you. I know you can only be so much to so many people. You don't want to spread yourself thin. And the fact of the matter is, even if you're having a shitty day, when you're around your fans, you want to make sure that you put your best foot forward, even if it's a show, even if it's an act. You've got to hang your ego at the door. I've never seen you. You've always been gracious when people walk up to you and so on and so forth. So with that said, when you meet someone like Michael, that is world famous, that is the most humble person, that's not a show. That's the real Michael. What do you think it's going to take to keep you grounded, other than family, other than friends? What's going to keep you humble to your success?
Wow. I think that I've been seasoned my whole life to be empathetic and, you know, I think being real about what the world is and not just living in a bubble. Of course, having people around you that are not yes people, those people will definitely kill your vibe. You know, they're only around for a minute. But just, you know, relating to real people and literally staying grounded, you know, not just, I got my own plane, blah, 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 you know, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's like going and helping people, going and, you know, who knows, building houses for Habitat for Humanity or something like that. Seeing life for what it is, you know, helping people that are sick, helping elderly, you know, carrying their groceries, like doing that kind of stuff. I think it's important to, I don't want to say bring yourself to that level, but it almost is, you know, walk in someone else's shoes. I think that's always a great reminder of how lucky we are, you know? Yeah,
you know, I say that, I'm laughing right now as I'm fielding, I should just turn my phone off. Speaking of the aforementioned Mr. Michael McDonald, I just got a text just now, and hopefully, Tino, you're hearing this also, from Amy McDonald, Michael's wife. And I had a couple shows ago, a couple emerging shows ago, with Dylan McDonald, Michael McDonald, and Amy McDonald's son. And found out from the studio that he got a better listening audience worldwide than his own mother and own father have. And so Dylan just flew into Santa Barbara to hang out with mom and dad, get ready for Michael's show this coming Friday at Kaboo here in Del Mar, which we'll be so proud to be there. But I got a message back from Michael. He simply put, I said, this just in, Dylan McDonald's ratings were higher than Michael and Amy McDonald's. Michael writes back, fantastic. Dylan writes back a day later, I can't wait to get to California so I can rub it in mom and dad's face. I just got a text just now. And this shows the success and the drive for the young listeners, the older listeners out there that appreciate what we're doing. So Amy just sent me this great message just now, and she says, Hey, sweetheart. She said, cool. I'm just a wee bit jealous that Dylan outscored Dad and myself. LOL. Thank you so much for having him on the show. And I'm not really jealous. I'm just so damn proud of him. And she says, Jackie, you're an angel for what you do and to be supportive of us of all these years. Again, that's called paying it forward. And the fact is, never, ever lose that fact. Because, you know, Joe, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have somebody believing in me. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have doors slammed in my face. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the knowledge I garnered from the old boys and old girls in the industry. So I say this with you with open arms. Immerse yourself in the industry, honey. All things of music, all styles of music. Doesn't mean you have to sing them. Doesn't mean you have to perform with them. But just try to understand them. Go back to where it was. I mean, I know you, I kid you. I know you love music of yesteryear and rock and so on. You know, and I'll say this from the bottom of my heart to the day I die. You will prevail. You just have to stop being nervous. It is a crazy thing. I, on the other hand, was never nervous. I can't believe to this day that I'm doing what I'm doing on the radio right now, and that I'm reaching people worldwide. I'm here. I'm a 30-year veteran in the music business. But when I walk into shows, last night with Kenny G and George Benson, the week before with Chicago, people walk up to me, the leaders, these patriarchs of the business, saying, I love your fucking show. When am I going to be on it? That is humbling, my friend. And the fact of the matter is, I'm going to put that branch out, the olive branch, to Joanna Pearl. When, not if, but when you hit big, would you promise me one thing from your heart, your lips to my ears, that you will come back and allow us to help promote you for the greater good? I just want to hear you say, yes, Jackie, I will. And if you don't, then I don't want to talk to you ever again. So with that said, guys, I just want to tell everybody, yeah, baby girl,
no doubt about that.
I want to thank you immensely. 20 seconds left. Joanna Pearl, JoannaPearl.com. Gravity, featuring Joanna Pearl on YouTube. Please buy this music from this amazing talent. With that said, as I say to all my artists, JoJo, peace through music. Thank you for being part of this great series. Thank you for being part of Intertalk Radio Network. You've been jumped in now. You can't get out. So with that said, girl, I love you. I will talk to you during the week. Thank you for being part of this. I will send you the archive. So with that said, guys, Jackie's Groove, brought to you by Intertalk Radio Network. You're into all things music. I love you guys. Stay healthy and stay positive.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al DiMeola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. Pitbullaudio.com.